Welcome. An emergency podcast update Friday night, heading into week 7. And this is a historic day in the Friends and Family League, I would say. I don't know if we've ever had trades that hold the weight that these trades do in one day. I feel like there's never a ton of trades in our league, but there's usually one or two a year. But it's very rarely that we get two trades like this in one day. So this is an emergency podcast.
Within 13 minutes of each other.
It's been a crazy day. So we're gonna go over the trades. We're gonna do mid-season power rankings, and then we're gonna pick this week's games. So I will say we were talking about this before we did before we figured out what we were gonna rank people, but this is the most competitive I think the Friends and Family League has ever been. I think that there's a very strong chance that there's 6 teams at 4-3 after this week. 10-team league, as we know, 8 teams make the playoffs, so it's going to come down to the wire to get these last couple playoff spots. So it's really, really competitive, and these we'll start it out. So first trade that went down, this is a blockbuster, one of the biggest trades that's ever happened in this league, and it was between myself and Matthew here. I traded Cortland Sutton, Jalen Waddle, and Kyle Pitts, and I received Travis Etienne, Brian Robinson, and Travis Kelce. So, Matt, you want to talk a little bit about this trade? This took a minute to get done. I mean, we had exchanged. First of all, I feel like this was a couple weeks in the making here, but we exchanged quite a few offers before we settled on this.
Yeah, and I'll say that it sort of started earlier today because what was the news that Mando got that all his running backs are dead?
Yeah, I don't think there's news, but so if you guys,
Oh, it was the McCaffrey trade, right? Because he's got Jeff Wilson Jr., Eli
yes,
Mitchell, so
yes,
those
yes,
guys done. He has who else did he have before this? He had Cam Akers
yeah,
dead,
dead,
Ramondre, Damian Harris is coming
solid, but
back.
Damian Harris is coming back.
Yeah, so like he's got nobody else. Like he's got Kenyon Drake, he's got Alexander Madison, he's got
Yeah,
nobody, right?
yeah,
So I went to him because he's got Chase, he has Keenan Allen, he has Debo. I was like, well, you need running backs. I got
yeah.
running
You've
backs.
been looking for a
I,
receiver as well.
so I was like, I sent him an offer for Chase. He declined. I sent him an offer for Debo, and then you and I started talking, and you said you had an offer to him for Debo. Started talking about wheeling and dealing Debo to me. I told you I had your final Infinity Stone and Travis Kelce that would complete your team.
I've been
You
trying to
knew I
get
needed
Travis
wide
Kelce for 2
receivers.
weeks from you. Yes, so
Yeah, and I told I think Travis Kelce at least this year right now is probably the most valuable player in fantasy. He's obviously not the best guy, but like for what he does at that position, it's unmatched. You can't get that with any other position. Um, so it's tough to let him go, but Kyle Pitts is a nice backfill. I think he's got some good upside in getting those 2 receivers, and so yeah, got that one done, and we'll see. I mean, I think it could work out great for both of us. Like, gives me 2 fringe wide receiver ones, one confirmed in Waddle. Sutton could be there too, and then Pitts. I mean, he could be what everybody thought he was going to be at any moment too. But for you, like ETN's trending up with James Robinson running back out of Jacksonville. Rest in peace to that guy.
yeah. Rest in peace for sure.
But yeah,
Yeah,
ETN's trending up. I didn't want to trade him because I think he's going to pop off. Really didn't want to trade Kelsey, but just felt like it's
yeah. I think this
the
is
best
a
thing to
fair
do.
trade up and down though. You got to give stuff up to get it. I didn't want to trade Jalen Waddle, as you know. That was like coming into the season. That was like the number one guy that I wanted on all of my teams. I thought he was gonna. I said before the season, I said Jalen Waddle's gonna outscore Tyreek Hill, and you're getting him 4 rounds after. Um, so I didn't want to trade him, but um, I do think so. Kind of for the whole year, how I drafted my team is I knew I was gonna have because most of the guys I wanted were mid-round picks, so I was just getting everybody that I wanted in our draft. So I knew that if most of them were good, I was gonna have a lot of ammo to trade with because I wouldn't be able to start all those guys. Like I even had like I had dealt Clyde Edwards-Helaire to Juck earlier this year because I can't start all these guys, with three receivers, two running backs, and a flex. So I knew that like I have depth, obviously, and like you said, I was trying to trade for Debo from Mando because he needs running backs. But yeah, I think this worked out for both of us. And then after we made the trade, I was then able to trade Brian Robinson, Devin Singletary, Drake London, and Dante Foreman to Mando for Debo Samuel and Kirk Cousins. So again, just an instance where I have all these guys. I'm never going to be able to start, I'm not going to be able to start most of those guys. And Mando's at a point, like we just discussed, he really needed running backs. I mean, he had one actual running back on his team. Like Kenyon Drake's a good fill-in, obviously with Dobbins out 4 to 6, but you just never know. Like they still have Justice Hill. Like they can dig the corpse of Mike Davis out. Like Harbaugh will play 10 running backs if he's allowed.
Yeah.
So, you just don't know. So he really needed some pieces. So like Singletary, I mean,
Yeah.
Zach Moss was inactive last week, dude. Like Singletary, if he does what he did down the stretch last year, like, that's a top 15 running back probably.
Yeah. And I think like if Cam Akers is what we thought, and like Eli Mitchell's not hurt, obviously the Niners don't go and get Christian McCaffrey. So Mando probably doesn't accept this trade. But like you said, like where he's at right now, bottom of the standings, needs some running backs. He's got three of them that are going to start. I wouldn't call him any of them a stud. Singletary, like you said, is the fringe RB1. Drake London is a nice fill-in receiver. I mean, he's already got Chase and Keenan, so like plugging Drake London as your wide receiver 3 or 4 because he has
Yeah.
Cooks as well. I forgot about that. Like that's not bad. So good with
Yeah.
both trades that happened today. But yeah, big pieces moving around for sure.
Yeah, and I will say I said this to Mando before we did the trade, I wasn't trying to like be a salesman. Like I literally believe like Christian McCaffrey hurts Debo Samuel like negatively because Debo Samuel gets so many in his current role, so many red zone carries. They'll give it to him on the goal line. They're not. I would find it highly unlikely that they do that. After trading all that for Christian McCaffrey, so that does hurt Debo Samuel. Not that he's not going to be good, but it kind of takes away that ceiling. Like I don't think he has any chance of being a top 10 receiver if he is not getting those red zone carries. But I think it was a fair trade. Obviously, I made it. But
Yeah, and on Debo, I saw a tweet. Obviously, it's a troll, but they said that they're gonna line McCaffrey up as a wide receiver, put Debo in the backfield, put Juszczyk in the slot, and Jimmy G's gonna underthrow Ayuk by 4 yards for a
yeah,
pick. So
yeah, they probably will. And then I saw it was really cool. I don't know if you saw it, but I guess so. Kyle Shanahan's dad, Mike Shanahan, coached
yeah,
Christian McCaffrey's dad. Like you see, that's pretty cool.
yeah,
So
I did. Yeah,
we
that
have
is
Christian
cool.
McCaffrey playing the Ed McCaffrey role now, and
Yep.
we'll just roll with that. But it should be fun to watch in real life. So that goes over the trades. Hopefully, some other people get involved. I'd like to see, like I said, I think there's a good chance we have 6 teams, 6 of the 8 playoff teams at 4-3 after this week. I'd like to see some of these other teams get in there and make some moves and see who's going to try and separate. And then maybe one of these bottom teams. Like you can't give up when 8 teams make the playoffs. It's 1 week and you can get right back in the mix. So
Yep.
we are going to pick the games later. We're going to go over these mid-season power rankings here before we pick this week's games. Starting off at the bottom, former Super Bowl champion Juck. Juck made the proclamation today that he's going to win this league, but he's coming in at 10th in the power rankings. What do you think of Juck's current roster right now, Matt?
Um, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Like I like Mike Evans. Kyler, I don't know. I mean, he could go crazy, but that offense is in shambles, and I know
Call
that
of Duty
you.
comes out this weekend, correct?
Yes, it does.
Well,
Well, yeah, the
there you
28th.
go.
So he already played this week, so he gets the extended bye week, or the not the extended bye week, but
Yeah,
the long
like a
week.
mini
So
buy.
yeah,
He might not leave his
yeah,
house, the next
yeah,
12 days.
he's
He
gonna
he
be
might just
firing up
he might do
midnight
the COVID. I got
Friday
COVID.
morning.
I got to do the video
Yep.
rules, the
Um,
video meetings.
yeah, I like Mike Evans. I like Swift. I don't know like how close Swift is to being fully healthy. Maybe they're a little bit careful with him. I'm not sure. DK, I don't know. Like Gino's been good, but I don't know if you can, put a lot of weight on that. But like outside of that, like I like Lockett, but Darnell Mooney, basically, he's a wide receiver on Keith Wakefield's Perry Panthers football team. They throw the ball just about as much as they did in high school. Zeke, dead. Clyde, super TD dependent. DPJ, who knows what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Dobbins, dead. Michael Carter, dead.
Dobbins is
Antonio
a big
Gibson,
hit
dead.
for Jack.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know he's only technically out 4 to 6, they said, but I mean, you can just chalk him for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not getting anything from J.K. Dobbins for the rest of the season. So I'm not trying to tell Jack how to run his team, because I know, like, you know, I think we flamed him for his lack of a tight end, and then he made one of the worst trades I've ever seen. So I'm not trying to tell him how to run his team, but I think you would agree with me. If this was my team, if I was in control of this team, like, what would you do? I'm trading Swift and Mike Evans for as much as I can get for them. I'm making sure I'm the number one person on the waiver wire the rest of the season. Give me as much as I can get for those two guys, and I'm gonna play matchups every week with my receivers and just try and sneak in at this 8th spot.
Yep, I'm with
That's
you.
what I would do.
And you talked about his DJ Moore trade. He traded for Dawson Knox, correct?
Yeah, and he dropped us now.
Not even on the roster
What?
anymore. That's funny.
Yeah,
I just noticed that.
And then now DJ Moore is going to get traded. It might be a really good play. But look, regardless, Jack, you can do whatever you want. If you watch this, you know, I hope you sneak in the playoffs. You are a former Super Bowl champion. I don't like to see people that used to have won a Super Bowl down at the bottom, 10th in the power rankings. Like, when you're below Mook in a power ranking, you know, that's not where you want to be, if we're being honest. But if it were my team, I'm shipping off anyone of value, and I'm trying to scrounge together and sneak in this 8th spot. But we move on. 9th overall in the power rankings. This is a shocker because I liked this team after the draft, but things just haven't broke right for Swarley. We're going to put Swarley at 9, correct? Not a bad team at all. You know, he's got some pieces. He's got Dalvin Cook, Devontae Adams. The Herbert to Mike Williams stack is good. But overall, serious questions at running back after Dalvin Cook. I mean, Eno's going to be as good as long as Connor's out. But once Connor comes back, it's going to be too, you know, muddled. Like, I think Eno's better. They should play Eno, but they're not going to do that when Connor comes back. It's going to be probably a split. James Robinson has just got Wally pipped by ETN. I mean, ETN's taken over.
Yep.
Lazard's okay, but
same thing with Melvin Gordon too. If we're still talking running backs, like he's got Latavius, like, but neither of them are gonna get like a bulk of the work. So like losing Javante was tough for him. But yeah, even like you said, receivers, like,
he's
don't know.
got serious depth questions, I think.
Yeah.
Like if Dalvin or something went down, I mean, he would be completely tanked.
Oh, he's dead in the water. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's why we're going to put him at 9.
Yep.
At 8. Who do we have at 8? We have Mook at 8?
We have Mook at 8, yes.
Live PD coming in at 8. He's 1-5. He's in last place, but he's 8th in the power rankings, which means Matt and I are predicting that Mook will make the playoffs. Again, not a great team depth-wise, but has good studs, right? He breaks run and pure with McCaffrey going to San Fran. Nick Chubb is going to do what Nick Chubb does. Tyreek Hill is very good. Jacoby Myers has like somehow been like a top 15 receiver. And then, you know, doo-doo shit poopster. What do you think about him up there, you know? I mean,
Schuster Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I mean, fine starters. Doesn't really have a receiver on the bench. He's got 2 quarterbacks. I'm not sure. And
his
4
bench
defensive players.
Is just it's a dire situation. I don't think I've ever quite seen a bench like this.
Yeah, he's got 2 good tight ends, Goddard and Ertz, so he's good there. Even Henderson,
he's running very pure. McCaffrey going to San Fran, and then Henderson being the number 1. I mean, I don't know if he'll be the number 1 for the whole year, but as of right now, you know, you can at least count on him to start every week.
Yep.
I don't know. This bench is in shambles. Still has 2 defensive guys, so I don't know what's going on there. We need to get that ironed out. But he's like replaced this. He had 6 tight ends, and now he's got 4 defensive players.
Yeah.
All right. Coming in at 7, we have Mando. Correct.
Yep.
I think Mando got better with these trades today. It hurts for him to
Yeah.
give up his boy Debo, but I do think he got better.
Yeah. I think pre-trade, I probably would have slotted him in at number
Yeah,
9,
he would have been at
just
ninth. I
ahead of
agree. I
ahead of
agree.
Juck, because like we talked about, he's got a half of a running back. Um, but I mean, yeah, it's just we've talked about it all year. If Burrow and Chase go, he's gonna go. Cooks is fine. Pickens is gonna keep ascending. Drake London will be fine. He's got Keenan on the bench too, and I mean now he's got 4 running backs that are gonna start. So I can't complain there. Yeah, he definitely got
Really
better today,
good
and
setup. It looks like down the stretch here for Burrow. So they go on bye in week 10. Come off a bye. Pittsburgh on Sunday night. Not a great defense, right? JJ
yep.
Watt, maybe he'll, or not JJ Watt, TJ Watt, he might be back by then, but regardless, definitely a burnable secondary. Tennessee, horrible secondary. Kansas City, that'll be about a 55 over under in week 13. Cleveland in week 14. What do we have, Harp or who's giving
We
us some
got Zoe.
Zoe's giving
So
some
yeah,
analysis on
she.
Joe Burrow?
Well, hang on, let me grab this real quick. We got on our kitchen table. We have this basket that has these like decorative balls. It's like covered in yarn, and we've been hiding it in the bathroom for 3 or 4 weeks because she would just like I'll be down here working in the room over there, and she just like brings these in, and I mean they're bigger than a baseball, and they're not heavy, but like she just drags them all over the house. Like we'll come down in the morning, and they'll be everywhere. So Court bought some pumpkins and some gourds and whatnot to put in there, but also left the balls in there, and she just brought me one down, and she sounds like Yoshi.
Yeah.
Yeah, chirps like Yoshi
She's
does in
breaking
Mario.
down
So
Joe Burrow, but good schedule down the stretch. Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Kansas City, Cleveland. Nice little stretch there coming up for Joe Burrow after the bye week. But yeah, Mando slotting in at 7. He should make the playoffs now. Hopefully, all things go straight. At 6, who do we have at 6? I believe we have Ricky
we
Williams at
got
6.
we got Big Rick. Yep.
Yeah, Big Rick. So again, a common theme I feel like with these teams are they're very good at the top, and there's just some serious depth questions. Like outside of his Allen to Diggs and Joe Mixon and AJ Brown and Brees Hall, lots of question marks, right? But that's like instead of having 3 good players, he's got like 6 good players. So that's a little bit of a different situation than a couple of the teams we put below him.
Yeah, and he could also get one of these trade bumps too if like Claypool actually gets traded. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if he does, but like if he goes to Green Bay,
Hmm.
that's a big bump. I mean, Diggs, AJ Brown, Claypool in Green Bay, and then Mixon and Brees as your 2 running backs, and then throw Hunt in the
Brees
flex.
Hall
And
is ascending. I mean, he's a top 6, 7 running back
yeah,
right now. So
yeah. I mean, he might end the year at top 5, top 3. I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
So
he's awesome, and I mean he's if he runs pure and everybody stays healthy, and even if Claypool doesn't get traded, like Diggs, Allen, AJ Brown, Mixon, and Brees could will him to a title, but he just doesn't have the depth.
as
Um,
Josh Allen and Diggs are healthy,
yeah,
he's going to get in the playoffs. Now let's see. Let's take a look. Who do the Bills have? Oh Lord, look at this playoff schedule here for the Bills. We've got week 14. They play the Jets. That's a smash. Week 15, Miami. That's a smash. Week 16, Chicago Bears. Smash. And then week 17, potential Super Bowl week. He's got Cincinnati on Monday Night Football. Oh, Ricky could be riding these Bills in the playoffs here because that's a favorable
yeah.
schedule for sure.
Is our so I don't I guess I don't even know. Is our Super Bowl
I'm
week 16 or
assuming
17?
so it used to be you would not play on week 17 because that was the week people would get rested. But now, since there's another
Oh, I
weekend that you
forgot.
play
Yeah,
17 games, week 18 is the week that people get rested. So week 17
totally
is the
forgot
Super
about
Bowl
that.
week, I
So,
believe. So if
yep.
I had
All
to
right, that makes
guess,
sense.
I'm
That makes
assuming that's how
sense.
that works. All right, so he was at 6, right? 5, we're going with
We have Eric.
Eric, yeah. So Eric, again, some serious depth questions, right? But really good top of the roster.
Yeah, it is week 17, by the way. I just looked, but let
Okay.
me get to
Yep.
his. his squad. Yeah, I mean Lamar and Andrews combo smashes. Throw Cup in there, smashes. But like Aaron Jones, the Green Bay offense just hasn't been like what we thought. I know Jones had the one pop off game. I think that's sort of like carrying him, but like Pollard's always going to be in a timeshare with Zeke. Zay Jones is a flex. I know he's got some guys out this week, but like that's concerning. I mean, he does have Cordero Patterson on the bench. I don't know what he's going to do when he comes back. He's got Gus. I think Gus is probably the running back to own in Baltimore going forward. But like you said, they're going to play 15 running backs, so it probably doesn't matter a whole lot. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think the rosters we have, I think he's better than what we've mentioned. Um, he's a safer roster than Rick, but Rick, I would say, has got more smash potential than him,
Yeah,
and that's
I
why
think
we have him above
I think
Ricky.
he has a higher ceiling as well.
Yeah,
But yeah, all right. So we'll go what fourth place we have Allen.
got Allen. Yep.
Yeah. So Allen does not have any depth concerns. I think Allen has a very good team. He's somehow 3-3, but like we said, this is really competitive league this season. There could be 6 teams at 4-3. So he's 3-3, but this is a great team, top to bottom, and he has a great team even with kind of missing on his second round pick in Najee Harris. I mean, Najee Harris is, I don't know, he's not even a top 20 running back. I think the rest of the way here. So you're not really getting like literally anything you get from him is going to be positive, but he has Austin Eckler, who's the RB1 overall right now after the last few weeks. T. Higgins, very strong. Michael Pittman, very strong. Christian Kirk, very strong. Gabe Davis, very strong. DJ Moore, if he gets traded, that's another piece. Miles Sanders is solid. Um, and then he has Jalen Hurts, who, could end the year as the QB1 or, QB2 right behind Josh Allen. So overall, Jalen Hurts cupcake schedule as well coming up. I mean, look at these games. They're on bye this week, and then they play Pittsburgh, Houston, Washington, Indy, Green Bay, Tennessee, the Giants, Dallas again, the Bears. Like they don't play anybody good. He's just gonna smash. So really good team. I have no complaints. I just think it's when you get to the top 4 here, I think it's very close right throughout all the teams.
Yep. Yep. I agree.
All right, so third, we're putting Snake here in third, but I think the battle between Snake and you is very, very close.
Yep.
I
I
have
agree.
no issues with Snake's team. I think that his team is very good. He ran really pure getting Chris Godwin late. He looks like he's going to be back for the rest of the year. Very good. He's running pure with Josh Jacobs. Has been a very good running back. My problem is not my problem. The only thing that separates you from Snake, in my opinion, is the question marks surrounding Snake's running back room. And it's because Josh Jacobs has been great this year, but it's like, will he keep it up? We just don't know because we've never seen it for a full season. Like they might, who knows what the Raiders will do. Jonathan Taylor's already been hurt. Their team isn't as good as it's been in the past. We don't know. David Montgomery, we don't know. The team is just terrible. And then Fournette has been great, but historically Leonard Fournette is someone that gets hurt. He's relying like so heavily on his passing game work right now. Rashad White has went way up in playing time, the last 2 weeks. Fournette is still getting there, but it's just concerned. Like I have concerns in his running back room, but he has a very strong team. He's one of the favorites to win the league, I think.
Yeah. I think another spot that I think you can favor me is tight end. Like having Pitts now, Pitts hasn't been what we had hoped for. But I would still take him as like what a top 5 tight end
Yes.
going forward.
Yeah, I think so.
So I mean, he blows Evan Ingram and Dawson Knox out of the water. So
Yeah. So we have you in second. Great team. I think you have a really strong team. I mean, Justin Jefferson can single-handedly win you weeks, and like you're gonna pair him with Jalen Waddle, who's getting Tua back, who's been one of the better receivers in fantasy. You have Alvin Kamara, who looks like prime Kamara. I mean, the work that they've been giving him is very, very encouraging. I told you before we did this, Kenneth Walker's potential league winner. If Rashad Penny doesn't come back, if Kenneth Walker stays healthy, I mean, he's going to smash the rest of the year. And, you have Cortland Sutton. Mostert was a good pickup. A.J. Dillon could always, imagine if, Aaron Jones goes down or something.
Yeah.
I think you have a good team top to bottom. And you also beat Snake narrowly, so that also gives you a little edge for me since you did beat him.
Yeah, like we talked before, Dillon could pop. If Fournette goes down for Snake, I have Rashad White. Bateman has shown flashes too. If he turns it around and Hollywood on IR, I know they just got Hopkins back, but he could be a factor down the stretch. Kyron Williams too. Everybody said now, he's going to have such a big role week 1, and they want to give him a big role when he comes back. That's a guy I got on the IR stash too. So even after trading away some of those pieces, I still think that there's a lot of upside that I have too. It's not there yet, but it could be. But yeah, I think I got some pieces that'll keep me atop the standings for a while. So
Yeah, and then we'll finish off. We have myself at 1. I mean, I don't know. This team I've assembled is actually pretty crazy. I told Chuck earlier today, I have this crazy team on paper, but I'm sure I'll still lose, somehow. That's just what'll happen. But I mean, DeAndre Hopkins looks really good coming back, with Hollywood out, Debo, Amon-Ra's back, Saquon, Henry, Dameon Pierce, Travis Etienne is really, really good running backs. Obviously, Kelsey. I do have I don't have a quarterback, man. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here at quarterback. But I do think, if there's one position to do that at, it is at quarterback. You can kind of play the matchups a little bit.
yeah, and I Russ can't suck forever.
Oh, we
I
have a lot.
truly do.
I just seen this. I have a trade offer, live trade offer on the
Uh-oh.
podcast. This is the worst trade offer. I knew this was a troll offer from old Allen here. I mean, look, this offer is terrible. I'm not even reading this offer. Continue with what you're saying. Not even reading this. So this is a J Money, not Juck. This is a J Money from Sleeper offer. What I got right here. So,
Is it a J Money or is it an historical anomalies?
yeah, this is a historical anomalies offer. Actually,
all right. Let me see if I can guess.
Okay.
Let
Yeah,
me
it's
see if I can
bad.
guess.
It's bad. It's a 3 for 3 if you want to. So
Okay, 3 for 3. He
horrible.
wants Saquon,
No, but there's a running back in there. Yes.
Pierce or Henry. Which one?
Okay, Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, Travis Kelsey,
Yep.
and Hopkins.
Debo.
Debo. Oh Jesus Christ! What
Yeah,
could he possibly
this is a
offer for this?
historical offer, bro.
What could he possibly offer for this?
It's a straight 3v3. Tight end,
Darren
receiver.
Waller.
Yes.
Okay, so Kelsey's way better than Waller.
Yes.
And what receiver was it? Was it Amon or no Debo?
Debo.
Pittman?
No, not you're yeah, not even.
DJ Moore?
Not even.
What? Gabe Davis?
Not I wish, but not even.
Jew?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Okay.
He's offering me
and...
Waller, Judy, and Eckler for Travis Kelsey, Derrick Henry, and Debo Samuel. This is not. I'm not
rocks.
Juck, Allen. You're not getting. This isn't the Salvation Army, brother. I'm not giving you. Donation.
If it's still even tough to move Kelsey.
Look, I told you, earlier. I would offer something like ETN and Pierce and something else for Eckler. I think I lose that trade if he doesn't. I don't care what Austin Eckler's done the last 3 weeks. There's always a chance that he A, gets hurt, or B, they just don't give. He had 16 targets on Monday Night Football. How many more weeks is he gonna have 16 targets in a game? Right? He's not gonna have that many targets. So Dameon Pierce and Travis Etienne could easily, I could lose that trade. I actually
told
sent
you earlier,
a fair
I
offer.
wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't like I wouldn't do that. Like obviously Eckler is the best player in that
Yeah,
deal that you
I
would offer him, but like it completely shoots you
it's
in the
yeah,
foot with
it's
depth,
not even
right?
close. This is horrible. Uh,
It would have to be something like Eckler, Higgins and Higgins or Pittman, Waller, and I mean I would even say you need one more player because of Travis Kelsey.
yeah,
Seriously, like
I agree with you. I mean,
so
Waller is just dirt, you know,
yeah,
like at this point. I don't care what he's done. He's not doing anything this year. He's been hurt. You know, Devontae changes that offense a little bit, so it's just not good.
yep.
It's a terrible offer. I'm not even declining that. That's how bad that offers. All right, so that's the power ranks. We got over the trades. We got over the power ranks. We're gonna pick this week's games before we get out of here. You know, we're gonna have our lead pipe locks. I believe you're up 9 points on me, right? 40-31 is the current point
Yep.
standing for the weekly
Yeah.
picks.
Yeah, we don't have picks from last week. Week 6 was our bye week, but we should be rocking and rolling the rest of the year.
Yeah. So okay, we'll start off with me versus Allen. I'm up 23-0 currently because of DeAndre Hopkins on Thursday Night Football, and I'm gonna pick myself. Do you agree with that?
I do.
All right.
Yeah, I do. Especially because he just sent you that trade offer.
Yeah. Yeah. That's even. You just fired my team up, Allen. They're gonna lay the wood on you, bro. Fired them all
Yeah,
up.
that's bulletin board material.
Oh yeah, I'm going straight bulletin board. I'm going Bill Belichick with that offer. I'm printing that off and I'm hanging it on the fridge throughout the locker room. You can all see that trade offer. I mean, this is what this guy thinks of you. This is what this guy thinks of you,
Yeah.
Derrick Henry. All right, pretty easy one there. We'll move on.
Yep.
Mando and Snake, Battle of the Blood, uncle versus
Yeah.
nephew. Big game, but I think I'm taking Snake in this one.
I'm taking Snake as well. He's just
A lot of
got
good matchups for Snake this week.
yeah.
Jacobs against Houston, great matchup. CD against Detroit, great matchup. Mahomes in a shootout, you know, 50 over under, you know, 1.5 point spread, great matchup. He's also owned. Notoriously, Mahomes has owned San Fran since Shanahan's been there. I think his last 2 games, he's got 6 or 7 touchdowns to 1 pick. He's thrown for like 600 yards or something. I mean, he's like something crazy. I don't know. I forget what I looked at, but he owns San Fran. So good spot for Snake. And he already
Yeah.
got 20 from, you know, Chris Olave last night.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Snake's got a little too much firepower for Mando this week.
All right. Swarley versus Juck. So this is a big game because this is the last 2 teams that we had in our power rankings. And I think that they'll be battling, you know, really we've kind of said it all year, right? But like those last 4 teams, it's going to be really, really close. I think Swarley wins this week and gets to 4-3. And yeah, I don't know. Do you think Juck can pull this out? I don't know if he can. He does have some decent matchups. Mike Evans has a squeaky wheel narrative. Zeke, this is the best matchup Zeke's getting the rest of the way against Detroit at home. Obviously CEH is in the shootout. Great highest over under on the slate, DK Metcalf. I don't understand how Jack is not starting Lockett over Darnell Mooney like the past weeks.
Uh
I know Lockett's kind of dealing with this hammy now, but dude, the last few weeks, how has he not been playing Lockett over Mooney? This is he might have like another win, to be honest.
yeah, and I've been trying to trade for Lockett for the last couple weeks, and he just doesn't even
I
entertain
was
my
in
trade offers. Like,
I was in trade
but
offers for or trade talks for DK Metcalf today after the Debo trade.
oh wow,
So we'll see what happens with that, but I think that this is going to come down to the wire, to be honest, I think. Because I don't love. I mean, he Swarley Rampiri he got that 23 from Eno,
yep,
but you know, I just don't love much else here. You know, Herbert and Mike Williams is big in the shootout, especially if Keenan doesn't play. But I do think they'll put Tariq Woolen on Mike Williams, and Tariq Woolen's a big guy. Mike Williams obviously like best contested catch guy in the league, but yeah, I could actually see Juck winning this.
I could too. I don't think I'm gonna pick him though. This is
I
if
might
we had
flip
a
my
Gruden
pick.
grinder,
I might
if we had a
flip my
Gruden
script.
grinder matchup of the week, then this would be it. But this
I might
is
flip
yeah.
the script here. I'm gonna go Juck. I'm changing my pick. I don't care. I don't care what the rules are. Give me Juck. I think Jets winning this week. That's gonna come out. Look, Swarley's gonna go for about 275, like career high. But I'm taking Juck. All right, second to last matchup, Ricky versus Mook. This is this both of our lead pipe lock is in this game, right?
Yes.
We're both lead pipe blocking Mook this week, and the reason for that being, Ricky has Josh Allen, Steph Diggs, and AJ Brown all on bye,
And Elijah Moore, who is not playing.
and Elijah Moore in his lineup, who is ruled out because he wants a trade. So he's got 4 zeros in his lineup currently. And I was at Ricky Williams' house last night, Thursday night, and I let him know. I said, "Hey, you got to make sure to set your lineup. You got a bunch of guys on bye." And he then proceeds. He gives me the whole thing. Who should I play then? And I'm looking at his team. He doesn't even have a backup quarterback on his team. He's got Watson, who is not playing. And you look at he's got some other guys he can put in there, but he picked up Josh Palmer. Josh Palmer not playing. He's got a concussion. So he's doing the whole. He's giving me the runaround. He's like, who do I play? I don't know. He's like, I gotta. He's acting like it's it's like a math test or something. He's like, I gotta think about who to pick up, and I can tell you over the weekend he will not remember. So
Yeah,
I
he's gonna
think
be
he's
down
getting.
on the farm in Jewett
Yeah,
with Cornelius.
he's gonna be on the farm in Jewett. It's deer season. You know, he's got big plans. So I think he's not gonna set his lineup, and I think Mook's gonna get a free win. And you and I floated the idea out. Maybe he's purposely not doing this in hopes that if Juck loses, it'll bury Juck in dead last because Mook will move to 2-5 if he gets this win. And assuming Juck loses, he'll also be 2-5. But Mook is a clear 110 points ahead of Juck in the standings. So Juck will be in dead last. So he might be tanking purposely to send his brother to the Shadow Realm to last place. What is your thoughts on that theory? I think it's a
I think
possibility.
it's
Ricky's
it's
smarter than he lets on, so I think this
yeah.
is I think
And
this is possible.
I haven't been around him much. I haven't been around Rick at all, but I haven't been around Jack as much as you, obviously. But one thing I do know is Ricky likes to get under his skin, and I think this is one thing that would really do
Yeah.
it.
And I can't really I mean there's no way me as commissioner I really can't ever prove that he purposely didn't set his lineup because knowing Rick forgetting to set his lineup is something that he would do. So I can't ever we'll never know if he's purposely doing this. But if it comes 1 o'clock on Sunday and I look and that lineup's not set, I'm always gonna wonder if he purposely did that. It's gonna be a mystery for the rest of the season. we we may never know. But all right, finish up marquee matchup of the week. It's number 1 in the standings versus number 2 in the standings. It's Matt versus Eric. This is a big game, and I am going to pick Matt. And this is why I said I think that there could be 6-4-3 teams this week. But I'm going to pick Matt. I think Matt's going to get the 6-1. I like some of these matchups. He already got 17.5 from Kamara, which is big.
Yep.
And I think Lamar and Andrews are going to absolutely smash the Browns. Mark Andrews owns the Browns, Matt. I don't know if you know this. His last 6 games against the Browns, I think he has 8 touchdowns. And if he played the Browns every week, he'd be like the best tight end of all time, basically. He owns him. And Lamar owns him too. I looked up his last 5 rushing lines against the Browns, multiple 2-touchdown rushing games, multiple over 100 rushing. They just own the Browns. So they're going to go off. Cooper could go off in that same game. And I think Aaron Jones is solid. But other than that, Josh Reynolds with Amon-Ra back, who knows? Pollard, who knows? Zay Jones, who knows? McLaurin, who knows? It's a lot of question marks. Kenneth Walker's going to smash. Sutton should do good. Waddle's going to smash on Sunday night. Ayuk in that great game. I think you have the edge. I think it'll be close, but I think you have the edge. I think this will be one of the closest matchups of the week. But I would give you the edge.
I agree. Yeah, the matchups on my side, I like them a little bit more than what he's got. But yeah, Lamar and Andrews scare me because I told you before we got on that Lamar might have 60. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I looked at like it's absolutely mind-boggling what those two have done against the Cleveland Browns the last 3 seasons. So
Is it actually mind-boggling though?
it's not, but at some point, it's like it's football. Random stuff happens. Like Lamar
No,
got hurt in the last game against the Browns. Lamar got hurt, so he had a down game. But I mean, this run from Andrews is like insane, dude. I mean, he has
yeah,
2 games with he has 1 game with no touchdowns and 2 games with 2 touchdowns, and he scored one in all the other ones. It's insane.
yeah, he's probably gonna go crazy
And
on
how are they
Sunday.
gonna stop? They can't stop him. They can't stop
No,
Bailey Zappi and Joe Flacco and Baker. How are they gonna stop Lamar and Andrews?
yeah,
And
you're right. They're not.
they drafted Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah to stop Lamar Jackson, and their run defense is so bad they can't even play JOK a healthy amount of snaps because their run defense is so bad. They can't even put him on the field. So like what, like it's just a stone disaster up there, man. As Snake always says, something's in the water up there. I think I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I was talking to my boss about it today, or not today, this week, because we always talk about the Browns before we start calls and whatnot. And man, I was like, I think we can like just write them off now. Like,
Yeah,
even if when Watson comes back this year, I think
yeah, they're
they're
done.
too far gone defensively and record wise that like
Yeah, they're done. There's
so.
some in the water. But yeah, that does it. We've went over the trades. Like I said, if you guys are watching this, make some trades. I would love to come on here and talk about like not our own trades, but like trades that other people made. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot of competitive teams. I think you guys could make some deals. Um, we have went over the picks for the week, and we've given out the midseason power rankings. So thank you guys for watching. Good luck in week 7, and we'll see you guys for week 8.